Well, hello. So, introduce myself. That's what this card says. So let me see if I can follow instruction. My name's Gareth. I'm from South Africa, and I'm the son of a pilot, which basically means I've been dragged all around the world, and I've done a lot of traveling when I was younger. So I've lived in a few different places. I've lived in South Africa, Mauritius. We went to Perth. I became Australian there. We went to the Gold Coast. We went to Dubai. We went to Sydney, and now I'm back in the Gold Coast. I've been a musician now for, well, I'd say most of my life, because I was playing the pots and pans when I was very young and hitting the toy boxes with little chopsticks. Those were my drumsticks at the time. Now I've got these, so I've upgraded. Can't eat with these though, unfortunately. Well, I could try, but yeah. So then started playing the drum kit. Got some Toys R Us drums and broke 4 sets, and my parents were like, "Oh, we should probably get him a drum kit." That was at age 11. And then just basically locked myself in my room and played drums, played to a band called Dream Theater, and I must have sucked so much for so long, But through the power of delusion, I prevailed, and I was able to practice to a point where maybe I didn't sound that bad. When I was living in Dubai, I came across the African djembe and fell in love with West African music, and made me feel like I was at home again from Africa. And so I also do West African stuff, and I compose orchestral stuff, and I'm in a metal band called Nova and Scepter, and I'm on drum kit and djembe for that. So, and then there's a local West African band called Spank and Hide, where we do the traditional stuff, like full power ceremonies. If you ever want to meet your ancestors, hit me up. I'll make an introduction. So let's see. What do I do at TAFE? Well, not much. My teachers are very upset with me. No, that's not true. My teachers like me because I pay them. And what do I do at TAFE? I study production. Yeah, because I found myself too many times backstage just not knowing what to plug into what. What happens if I plug this into that? Something not good, So when I do plug this into that, I want it to be good. And the only way that can happen is if you actually understand what the hell it is that you're doing, So I figured if I learn how to, mix and master, if I learn the more live aspects like lighting and getting on the sound desk, I'd just be a more useful person to have in the production process and in the live tour scenario as well. And apparently in capitalism, the more useful you are, the more valuable you are, or the better you are. That's the myth. Yeah, you're a better person if you're more useful, aren't you? Yeah, okay, it's cool. So that's what I'm doing at TAFE. I'm becoming a better person. What do you do creatively outside of TAFE? Well, already covered that, but yeah, I'm in a band called Nova and Scepter. This is our logo. And Nova and Scepter is Latin for new initiatives. Basically, I'm a person that has come out of various levels of dysfunction and trauma. I believe that is the story for all of us. And Nova and Scepter allows me to directly confront my trauma, my dysfunction, my delusions, my illusions, by demanding that I hold myself to a certain level of responsibility and accountability, because it's just such a it's such an expensive project, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's basically what we've done is we've merged progressive metal with film scores with tribal music. So it's like that type of Hans Zimmer meets Dream Theater type thing with the West African stuff thrown in there as well. Because, we're using such enormous amounts of instruments, and it's not easy music, and the music is difficult to play, and it's quite long, so I can't remain dysfunctional and be in this band. So the band forces me to up my game. And that's the purpose of Nova Inceptor for all of us. That's our new initiatives. Then, like I said, we do the West African stuff, and we go open portals to other dimensions on the dance floor for people. And I'm not a musician. I'm also a magician, because I open up portals for people. You'd have to come to one of our gigs to see, but basically I'll be playing djembe, and then that would happen. I'd be playing djembe, and some beautiful girl will come up to me, and she's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then I'll start playing a solo, and she starts moving her body to the same way that I'm playing, and then she lands up going into a trance, and I'll end up being fueled by whatever happens from her side, but it's neither me or her doing what we're doing. It's actually something else that's using, I wouldn't say using, that's a bit abusive, but it's like we're vessels. I very much feel that we are vessels in that moment, the two of us and the whole band, and the spirit that comes through and does what it does with us, and then we are healed by that interaction with the non-manifest domain. So yeah. Only on the second card. I'm so sorry. All right, what do we got here? What are some of your creative influences? Did I mention Dream Theater? Did I mention Mama de Keita on the djembe? Did I mention that I can't hold on to my sticks and I'm a drummer? Did I mention that? Stop laughing at me! You in the back there. You can't see, but he's laughing at me. I'm a guest. Where are your manners? Okay. Pain of Salvation in the prog world. We've got David, Max McKick. We've got Pliny. We've got Steve Vai. We've got Monuments. Oh my God, Monuments. Tesseract. A bit of Periphery. We love Dream Theater. And in the film score, John Williams, Howard Shaw, Newman, and last but not least, Hans Zimmer. That's my man. In the West African world, we've got Anthony Weedy. I've got Basimi Konde. I hope I'm not butchering his name. Some of these names are hard. We've got Mohammed Bangora and the rest of the Bangora boys. We've got Mama de Keita. Yeah, absolutely amazing drummers, amazing musicians, and inspired me to want to be like them. What is the method for getting in the creative zone? Actually playing music with somebody else usually gets me in the creative zone for sure. Or just playing on my own. If I'm going into my body and I'm leaving my mind behind and going into my heart space as well. If you're in the intellect, you'll find that it's difficult to be creative. The left brain stuff, and I am left brain dominant, so for me it can be a challenge. But you've got to not think, you've got to feel, and you find ways to just turn that on. once you're in the feeling space, creativity flows more naturally. So yeah, different people have different ways. For me, it's like actually involving myself, doing some breathing. In the shower, like meditative sounds, for example, like shower water, and the sensation of body stimulus. So obviously water on your skin and the heat of that and the sound of water, that draws me for sure into my right brain as well. I'm sure you can relate being creative in the shower or coming up with amazing ideas in the shower. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh man, I'm still working on 5 days. So 5 years I'm going to be on tour with my band, and I'm going to have my diploma, and I'm going to be combining film and music and spirituality together. And that brings me to a conclusion. So thank you so much for having me, and I wish you all the best in your own endeavors and finding your own peace and clarity in your life.